This is a very strange story, and I think right off the bat, I do have to say that we have no hard confirmation of it. But let's go through the details a little bit for you. Washington Post, just the past hour or two, reporting this according to their own sources, that when Joseph Yun, the U.S. Special Envoy to North Korea, traveled to Pyongyang to pick up Otto Warmbier, who was the university student who was imprisoned starting in 2016 for the simple act of taking down a propaganda poster. He was given a bill by the North Korean officials for $2 million for hospital care for the handling of Mr. Warmbier in their own custody. In fact, it's believed that he went into the comatose state before dying because of the handling of Mr. Warmbier by the North Korean officials. According to the Washington Post, Joseph Yun actually signed this agreement that $2 million would be paid, but the Washington Post goes on to say that no payment was recorded from the Treasury Department in 2017, and it's not clear where this stood after that, whether anything was paid at all. We reached out to the White House, and Sarah Sanders says, in fact, that the White House does not report on, does not comment on hostage negotiations. They're very clear about that. We also reached out to the State Department also referring back to the White House. So at this moment, we don't have confirmation that this question was asked and any confirmation that any money changed hands. But I can tell you, I'm familiar with the correspondent of Washington Post, and she is a reliable source. So it's something certainly to be followed. Meanwhile, Melissa, sticking with North Korea, Kim Jong-un, the North Korean leader, and Vladimir Putin, a Russian president, meeting for the first time today in the eastern Russian city of Vladivostok. The mood generally friendly, a little bit formal from Kim Jong-un. They said, yes, we spoke about conditions on the peninsula, and Russian President Putin saying that he, that is Moscow, and Washington agree on the fact that North Korea should get rid of its nukes, but throwing a little bit of a monkey wrench into things. Putin went on to say that the security must be guaranteed of North Korea by not just the United States, but by other countries, including Russia, perhaps in some sort of a six-nation agreement. So moving things forward a little bit, but pulling back a little bit too. Putin also says that he will be speaking with President Trump, as well as President Xi of China, to brief them on this mission. As for Kim Jong-un, well, he got a little bit more face time on the global stage. But again, a couple of developments on the North Korean situation, which continues to trouble diplomats in the U.S. and all around the world.